You just announced the news that your album Love Train's due out sometime next month. Can you kind of
Yeah.
talk to me about the overall sound of that album and what people can expect from that album?
Well, the overall sound of the album is just really just a combination of all my inspirations growing up, from Jodeci to R. Kelly to Tank to Brian McKnight. I took all those sounds and just made Lonny Bereal sound. I call this album a blast from the past because it gives you all that good feeling from the music, the R&B music back when I was growing up, classic R&B music and just baby making music and good time music, cleaning up the house, driving. It's a little bit of everything on this one.
Yeah, cool. Now, kind of talk to me about the title.
The Love Train.
Yeah.
The concept behind that is, if we just respond to adversity, whatever you're going through, whether it's with somebody, a friend, a family member, anybody, it could be a stranger on the street that you just, have odds with sometime. And if we just all respond with love to any situation, we can stay connected some kind of way and create this movement called the Love Train.
Okay, cool. Now, for this album, this being your debut album, I'm sure labels and critics have expectations for you for this album, but, what is your personal goal for this album?
My personal goal for this album is just to get started, get my foot in the door, get out on the road and get to touch some of these fans and gain new fans. And, just give my personality and spread love. Of course, everybody's going to have their opinions and you can't please everybody. That's something, that I asked my boy Neo. I was like, yo, man, how do you please everybody? Sometimes it's a song that I might love that nobody else loves, or it might be a song I hate that everybody else loves. And Neo just told me, he said, man, it's impossible. And he said, for you to try sounds crazy.
Yeah.
And so I just took that advice and said, I'm going to just do my music. And, whoever embraces it does, and whoever doesn't, it just wasn't for them. You're not going to always win everybody over. Hopefully I can win them over with the next album.
Yeah, definitely. Now, of course, you've done a lot of collaborations with Tank throughout the years, and, you've also done some work with Chris Brown. So what kind of approach did you take with this album to really make sure that people knew that it was Lonny Bereal and not just, someone who was writing for Chris Brown or someone writing for Tank?
Well, on this album, it's the beats that I love. It's the songs that I wanted to sing. And I never really think about what I've done when I go in the studio. I'm going in the studio today, and I don't think about what I did yesterday, what I've gotten awards for, and the people that I've worked for. I just go in there, and whatever feels good to me, that's what I roll with. And that's what I did with this album. Of course, you're going to hear a little bit of, yeah, he may have written with Chris Brown. Yeah, he may have written with Tank. I could tell a little bit in this song. I can see a little bit of this person in that song. So, because I always give everybody a little bit of me. Like, I don't really think about proving a point that, yeah, that was me on this guy's song.
Yeah, okay. Now, last year you released your first single with Kelly Rowland. But we haven't really heard too much from you afterwards, as far as a mainstream single. So, do you have any plans to put out a second single anytime soon?
Actually, we just put one out last week. Some radio stations picked it up. It's called Make You Mine.
Okay.
Make sure I check that out. It just went out to radio stations, and I'm getting ready to do some radio interviews and actually go and do some in-studio interviews as well. So that just went out last week, Make You Mine. Yeah, I just had to, work my way. Since Favor came out, I had to finish the album and, the politics of the music industry that nobody really ever hears about. Everybody just, wants the music. Where is he? What's going on? So I had to fight through a few things, and the album is coming out March 27th now, and we just came with the new single, Make You Mine. So you'll definitely see a couple more videos. I'm shooting a video to Make You Mine next week, and I got a new video that I've shot already called a song called Michael Jackson Thriller Swag. And so I'm getting ready to load y'all up real heavy.
Okay, cool. Now, your first single came out last year, and, there's been a huge wait for your album. As a writer yourself and as an artist, does it ever get frustrating? Because I know you're constantly in the studio, working on new music. So, I guess, does it get frustrating? And did you have to kind of revamp your album because it took so long for your album to come out?
It definitely was frustrating. It takes a lot to bite your tongue and not say what you want to say. some songs didn't make the album because of the politics, and I had to go and pull some other songs from different areas, and revamp the album maybe a little bit, but for the most part it was solid and stayed the way it was. But you can't, as a new artist, I understand that everything can't go my way. I'm grateful to be here, and whatever didn't make it on this first album, I could hold it for the second album, or give it away on my next mixtape. But my fans are going to get the music that I want them to have, it one way or another.
Okay, cool. Now, you mentioned that your upcoming single, Make You Mine, is coming out. Can you kind of give me some background behind that song and how it came about?
I was just working in the studio with Troy Taylor. Shout out to Troy Taylor, who, found Trey songs and has a lot of Trey songs hits. He did 4 songs on this album. I was actually working with him that week, and Jado and another writer and artist named Seven, who signed to Chris Brown as well, one of his writers. And we brainstormed. Troy played the track, and I loved it. I loved the track, and I said, I gotta have this track. We gotta figure out something to it. And we sat in the studio and for about 3 or 4 hours, and Make You Mine came out, and I loved it. It's just, the concept of it is, every day a man is looking for that woman, and on this concept, I actually find that woman, and I'm asking her, what I got to do to make you mine.
Okay.
So that's pretty much that.
Okay, cool. Now, you were mentioning the label politics. When I know for a lot of artists, when they first come into the music scene, they expect their albums to, drop right away after they're signed. But, a lot of times that isn't the case. For you, did you kind of expect what took place to happen, when you first started as a solo artist, or did it just catch you by surprise?
Well, I knew what to expect from Favor being released, because when I actually signed my deal, I did a single deal first. I didn't do a deal for my album.
Okay.
So immediately in the contract, it gave the release dates for Favor. And I was hoping that Favor did well enough for the label to go ahead and want to do the album. And I had a lot of songs done already as a songwriter, and I'm always in the studio. So I came with enough songs, and Favor did well enough for the label to say, we want to go ahead and put this album out. I wasn't sure the timeline. I didn't think it would take this long, but, God's timing is better than mine. And I'm just happy that it's coming out March 27th at this point.
Okay, cool. Now, of course, you're with Notify Records, which, has had some success with male R&B artists such as Genuine and Johnny Gill. Do you feel like this is a good, marriage for you right now?
I think that it's a great time for Notify to try something new, a new artist. And, of course, she's known, Ira DeWitt is known what she's doing with Genuine and Johnny Gill. And I think right now, just, for my situation, she let me be me. She didn't try to make me into a different artist or what she thought I should be. And I'm just happy to be where I'm at, and with the album coming, it's a good situation.
Okay, cool. Now, of course, you started out as a writer, and, with many artists that I've heard, who started out as writers, they actually kind of enjoy, that whole transition from being a writer to an artist, because as a writer, you get to really develop your sound. Have you found that to be the case with yourself? And do you think you would be at the level you are now if you had just started out just as an artist instead of being a writer and then transitioning to an artist?
Well, I actually use the process of writing for other people to develop my sound, of course, yes. I started out, when I first started writing, I started out writing, wanting to be an artist, writing for myself, and I didn't really have a sound or an identity. So over the years, I would write songs and sell them, and build up my catalog to where people respected me as a songwriter. But meanwhile, a lot of people didn't know I was developing me. Yeah. And so I definitely used that to develop my sound. But I love writing for people now, so that's something that I'll never stop doing, and I'll probably create a newer sound on the next album while I'm still writing for everybody else.
Yeah, definitely. And, through your writing, you were able to get a Grammy for the Chris Brown album. Just kind of talk to me about that, and where does that rank as far as your accomplishments in the music industry?
Oh man, that was so big for me. It's one thing to be nominated, and that's exciting. Like, you know, Tank's Please Don't Go was nominated. I actually got a certificate for Pleasure Peas under being nominated as well. But now for me to actually win with Chris Brown, it took me to another level as a songwriter, and it's just, you know, I was all smiles. I'm still all smiles. I can't wait to get back and hopefully win again. But that's definitely something that I have under my belt, and I'm happy to have it.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, who are you currently working with aside from, you know, your own project?
Well, I'm actually getting ready to head to the studio now with Kelly Rowland.
Okay.
So I'm back in with her, working on her new project, just starting. It's sounding amazing already. Just finished up with Chris Brown on the Fortune album. Tank, been in with Tank on his new album. His new album is crazy. I got a couple other things I'm working on. LaToya Luckett, Brandy's in. Me and Usher talked, so I'm getting ready to start doing some stuff with him. So I'm just staying busy, and then the Love Train is coming, so I'm gonna be on the road and then back home in the studio. So I'm trying to clone myself as we speak.
Definitely. And if I could, I want to ask you about a song that you wrote, you know, a couple of years ago. It's Overdose by Jamie Foxx.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I just was thinking about that song last night.
Yeah,
What about it?
Yeah, could you just give me some background on how that song came about? Because I really like that song.
Me, Jamie, and Tank and Tank produced that song. We were just vibing in the studio, and Tank had this beat, and Jamie loved it, and we just started, you know, humming different melodies. Tank went in the booth, and he just came up with one word: overdosed. And we was like, wow, that's it. So we went back and forth. We got that song done maybe in about an hour. And it just came out special, man. That's one of my favorite songs,
Yeah.
believe it or not, out of all the songs that I have out there, Overdose.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my favorites as well. And another one I want to ask you about is Day 26, Girlfriend.
Another one I did with Tank. We were actually in, I believe we were in Vegas when we did this. No, you know what? We were actually at the Boom Boom Room in Burbank out here. We just locked in the studio for about a week or two and just came up with a bunch of songs. And Girlfriend was actually in the batch of songs that we came up with that week. And we had fun actually writing that song. That song is a fun record. And shout out to Day 26 for putting that on their album.
Yeah, okay, cool. You know, that's all that I had for you. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, man, you know, the Love Train coming March 27th. Make sure y'all support that. And then I changed my Twitter name to @Lonny Bereal instead of @Lonny's World. And that's pretty much it. Make You Mine is at the radio now. Make sure y'all support that. Check that out because you didn't know about it.
Yep.
And the Love Train is coming, man. I'm looking forward to getting on the road and hitting the stages and shaking some hands and hugging some ladies.
All right, awesome, Lonny. You know, best of luck with that project. You know, keep us posted on anything that you have coming up, and, you know, definitely look forward to that album.
Okay, cool, man. I appreciate it.